Alright guys, we're picking up where we left off. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of this extra stuff here so we can just, I don't know, make it a little nicer. We're still looking for the divisor of a number that is input by the user. Right here, this is the number input by the user. This takes the number and divides it by 2 and returns the remainder. And this is our little check that we made here. This checks to see if it's divisible by that number, and tells us if it's divisible by it, then do this, and it says else, print out this. Okay, so what we're going to need is after the person chooses a number, we need to know what items to check. So we need to make like a checklist. So let's make a checklist, and what we're doing here is we're checking the list of numbers from what the person inputs. So let's do checklist is equal to, and we're gonna use that function that we used in the random. We're gonna make a range. We're gonna do from 1 to, and then whatever the user chooses, which is A. Let's do this. So this is gonna make the range from 1 to A, and we want to turn it into a list. What this does right here is it creates a list from 1 to A. So what that does is basically this. It's just like writing this. Checklist is equal to, and do the square brackets, 1, comma, 2, comma, 3, comma, 4, comma, 5, comma, dot, 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 all the way up to A. Whatever they chose for A, which is up here. So whatever they chose. And then let's just prove that that's true to ourselves. Let's do print checklist. And while we're at it, let's get rid of these. Not like fully, but comment them out. So now we don't have any extra stuff going on here. No extra stuff. We're going to use this here in a moment. Run. Give me a number. Let's do 5. Looky there. We got, please give me a number, 5. And then it put it in the range 1 to 5. And then it made a list. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you notice here, 5, the top number, was not included in this list, but we do want to actually include it. So what we can do to fix this is we can do range 1 to A and then plus 1. So that's going to take the list and it's just going to add 1 to it. So instead of it doing 1 to 5, it would do 1 to 6. So let's run this again. And let's choose 5 again. 5. So what it's going to do is going to put 5 here, add 1 to it, and so the list is going to be 1 to 6. And then when we push enter, as you can see, it's got numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Includes 5. So there we go. Got our whole checklist. Now we know what numbers we're actually going to have to check for when the person enters in. So if we were doing 12, you know we would have to check all the numbers 1 to 12. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 12. Alright, now let's use a for loop. For x in checklist. Okay, making some headway here. And let's do print x. And let's get rid of this checklist here. And let's just see what happens with this. It should just print them all, right? It should just print them all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever we choose. Let's do 10. Let's choose our number as 10. Please give me a number. Let's do 10. There it is, 1 through 10. Pretty cool. We're working magic here. Let's do another one. Let's do 5 and see if it works. We know it will. We just did it. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it prints them all out, and it uses this here, this checklist, and it uses list, and it uses range. Range is determined here, and it stores it in the list, and the list is called checklist. And for each X inside a checklist, we're going to print it out. Okay, now let's see if we can't add in what we made up here. Let's do something. Let's do if X is what? If X is what? We want to do if X... actually, we need to do some math first. Let's do some math first inside of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this part here first. We're going to do this remainder part here. And let's see how we can make it work. Remainder. So what we're doing is A is the original number that they chose. So maybe we should change. We could change that, or we could leave it A. We could do original number. O-R-I-G-I. Original underscore number. So this will help our brains a little bit. Original number. And this one is also our original. I can't spell. Our original number. Okay, so what's going to happen here, it's going to take our original number and it's going to divide it by, or it's going to do modulus 2, and it's going to store it inside of remainder. Well, we don't necessarily want to divide it by 2 every single time. We want to divide it by the number in our checklist, and we want to see what happens. We want to get the remainder from that. Okay, so let's use the numbers from checklist, which are stored in X. And then after we do that, let's print it out and let's see what we get. And we're not going to print X, we're going to print remainder. Let's see if we got that right. Right here, remainder. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this stuff. Actually, no, I'm not. All right, let's run it. Run. We're going to pick a number. Let's pick 12. And we're going to get some numbers here. What do we see? We have a 0. We have a 0. We have a 0. We have a 2. We have a 0, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, and a 0. Why is that? 12. Okay. So let's run through what happened here and see if we can figure out what's actually happening. So the first thing that happened is it put 1 in for X. Then it took the original number, and the original number we chose was 12. So let's just type that out. So it took 12, and then it divided it by the first number in our checklist, which was 1. And it gave us what the remainder was. The remainder of 12 divided by 1 is 0. Okay? Then it did it again, and it did 12 divided by 2. And then again, it gave us the remainder. And the remainder was 0. And then it did it again. 12 divided by 3. It gave us the remainder. And then it did 12 divided by 4. And it gave us the remainder. Then it did 12 divided by 5. It did 12 divided by 6. 12 divided by 7. Okay, now let's see if we can... Let's fill these in. Remainder would be 0. The remainder would be 0. The remainder would also be 0. 0. And then the remainder here would be 2, because 2 times 5 is 10. The remainder here would be 0. The remainder here would be 5. Now let's see if these numbers here correspond to what was happening. 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 5. 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 5. Divisor. Divisor, divisor, divisor. Not a divisor. Divisor. And not a divisor. I think we have basically solved this. We know which spots. We know this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Okay, now let's complete our code. We know this is working. We know this is going to do exactly what we want. And let's finish it up here. Let's button it up. Okay, so now we want to do if remainder is equal to 0, what do we want to do? We want to print. What do we want to print though? Do we want to print the remainder? No. We want to print the number, x. And that's all we have to do. We don't have to do anything else. We could do an else statement. This is not it, but what's going to happen is it's going to say if there's a remainder of 0, just like this, it's going to print out that number at that location x. So let's run this. Please give me a number. Let's do 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Well, by golly, I think we did it. So we have 12, and we know that the divisors for this are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. And look right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Wow. Now let's think about this. How powerful is this tool? Let's run it again. What are the divisors for the number 100? It's going to tell us all the divisors for 100. Let's see what it does. Might have to click again. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 20, 25, 50, and 100. That is just a pretty cool program. Not very many lines of code. It took us a little bit of thinking, 2 parts of an episode, but that's okay. Let's do it again. Let's think of a prime number. 13 is a prime number. What's it going to return if it's prime? Well, if it's a prime number, it's only going to give us 1 and 13. Let's run that. 1 and 13. Also, so a prime number is only going to give us the 1 and whatever number you chose. Let's choose another random number. This is seriously just as random as that gets. From me anyway. So, run. 1, 2, 3, 9, 4, 7, and 3, 7, 9, 4. That is pretty close to being a prime number, but it's not. Wow. Let's do it again. Just because I'm having fun. Keys giving a number. 7,000. Run it. There's a bunch for that one. Those are a lot of divisors there. Alright, hope you guys had fun. As much fun as I did. See y'all later.